Let's go. Happy Thursday. Second live for the day. Appreciate you guys tuning in. It is going to be another great interview. Rika Stick, what's happening? I think I just sent the invite to you, Ed, to go through. Let me send it again. All right. What's happening, brother?
What it do, good brother? How are you?
Nothing much, man. Nice to formally meet you. Appreciate you joining us. We got the good brother Ed Davis in the building.
Likewise. How you doing tonight, man?
No complaints. Well, as you know, we up and moving, so all is well.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That's what's up, man. Let's give people like 2 more minutes to jump in here. I'm excited, man. I've been doing some homework on you.
For sure.
Hold on. Did we lose you?
No, I'm here. I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. There you go. You back. That's Hold on, Ed. Did we get you back? All right, we'll get Ed back in a second. You know, sometimes IG be acting goofy, but don't worry. We promise to give you nothing but good information tonight and share Ed's journey, some tips to help you. Ed is super successful. My second person I talked to today that's got over 100 doors. So, you know, when you talk to people that have mastered this success, the disciplines and the secrets to help them get there, you want to definitely pay attention to it. Uncle Chick. But again, to reach 200 doors, like, yo, there we go. We good?
IG kicked me all the way out, man.
I was just telling them every once in a while, IG that's when they know we about to give them something special. They want to play with it. They always want to play.
For sure, man.
Nah, but go ahead, Ed, if you could just let the people know, you know, what city are you in and just a little bit about you, not even the real estate part, just a little bit about you.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm out in Houston, Texas. That's where I was born and raised.
Okay.
I am a real estate investor. I started out with no doors, no inheritance, none of that stuff. And just me and my wife, you know, 1-bedroom apartment, figuring things out. Fortunately, we actually did figure those things out, right?
Okay.
But I graduated from Prairie View A&M. I don't know if we got any HBCU people in the house, but
Renzo, big HBCU guy, went to Howard.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up. So graduated from PV in 07 with an electrical engineering degree. I went to work for all of 2 weeks and I was like, this ain't for me. This ain't for me, man. And it wasn't the job. The job was cool. Well, I had multiple jobs. The first one sucked, but the second one was good.
Okay.
I just realized that, you know, is there really a such thing as a good job? And it had all of the perks, all of the financial perks, the 401k, all of that stuff. But realistically, you know, having to be somewhere when another man tells you, asking permission, can I go to my cousin's graduation? My grandpa's sick. Is it okay if I visit him at the hospital? That never sat right with me. And so that was a part of my journey of saying, you know what? I want to have more control over my life. I want to be the man that I know I can be, and stop asking another man's permission for things that are important to me. And so my wife and I jumped deep into the real estate. We locked in. Of course, I've done everything. After I get the money from the tenants, I go do stocks, cryptos. I invest in teaching, buying raw land, a little bit of everything, right? But it's all foundationally set on real estate. We own 215 doors across. What's that?
I said salute.
I appreciate that, man. Across Texas, Florida, and Michigan. and it's all 100% automated. I'm hands off. It takes me about 4 hours per month to deal with each of those properties. I mean, to deal with all of the properties total.
Okay.
I really focus on building out teams and systems because I didn't want a job. And I dedicate my time to coming back to teach the people that I love, right? You know, pouring into the community. And that was one of the things that got me onto this live here with you. I definitely have seen the posts that you've been putting up, you know, trying to get back to the community, educating the kids, all of that kind of stuff. And that's my passion, you know, and I'm fortunate enough to have financial location and time freedom so I can come back and teach that to my people.
Definitely. That's dope. So if we go back to the beginning, the engineer, so smart, you're disciplined, you know, you follow processes.
Uh-huh.
So most engineers I know, like you guys gotta put it down, y'all got it color coded, y'all break it
Absolutely.
down, y'all set it, it's off and running.
Absolutely.
So for you, college helped you get those disciplines, which you later started using in real estate, would you say?
You know, college actually taught me the importance of networking, right? College taught me that there's more than one way to do something, right? So let's just be 100% transparent. Growing up as a kid in the hood, I was a big procrastinator, right? I was the kid that was, you know, early in the morning, I'm trying to get my book report done. My mama mad because I'm like, the printer not working, and she like, you supposed to be at the bus stop, right? That was me.
Okay.
And then I actually went to college on a whim, right? My whole family had said, you know, it'd be great if you go to college. You should go to college, but they didn't really give me any direction on how to get there and what to do. And I had.
You first generation college graduate?
You know, I thought I was, but as I got older, I found out that my grandpa actually had 2 degrees. He was an entrepreneur, so he never talked about them. Right? So I'm not first generation. My grandpa went. I had an aunt and an uncle an aunt and 2 uncles that were in college at the same time as me.
All right, so y'all got them sprinkled out though, but
yeah.
Really gave you the blueprint to say you should go and look at this. It was like, nah, Ed, you should go or you gonna go to the army.
Nah, the army was never on the table for me, man. I knew I wasn't cut out for it.
Okay.
Right? Like I just told you, like going to a job and having somebody tell me, hey, you need to be here at 8 o'clock. Like I'm reverse engineering. Okay, if I gotta be there at 8 o'clock, that means I gotta leave home by 7, which means I gotta wake up by this time, which means I gotta go to bed at this time, I gotta eat at this. Like I'm reversing that thing out. So me understanding that just about a job, I knew I couldn't make it in the army, man.
Okay, understandable. So going to college, but touch on that networking piece though.
Yeah. So what college taught me, man, when I got to school, I really had a mentality of I got all my friends. I don't need to talk to nobody. I'm good. And I quickly started to realize that I'm lonely, man. I'm lonely. And through that loneliness, I started to get involved in more organizations. I started befriending people. I rarely tell people this, but I am a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity.
Okay.
And so, you know, I got to really know those brothers better. And through my experience, I learned that, you know, I always use this analogy because one of my best friends from college, my line brother, he came by my dorm room one day, and I'm in there cleaning up, and he's like, "Bro, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm folding the tiles up," and he's like, "Yo, but why so neatly? Like, why are all the lines so perfect?" And I'm like, "That's how you fold a tile." He's like, "Nah, that ain't how you fold a tile. This is how you fold a tile." He's like, "This is how my mama folds tile." I'm like, "But your mama wrong." Right? And so it was through that experience that I realized that, you know what? It's more than one way to fold a tile.
Right.
And so I use that same approach in all of my real estate deals. No 2 deals look alike.
Right.
I don't know how I'm gonna get the deal done when I start. I'm figuring it out as I go. And so the networking piece just came once you become, you know, a part of an organization, you start joining the SGAs and all of that stuff, you know, you start to get some popularity on campus, right? And then you just realize that this network has some benefits, right? You get some intrinsic value out of helping other people, and you also get those valuable lessons of like, hey, learning that there are multiple ways of doing things, or maybe you talented at you studying a whole nother discipline. You might know finance. I don't know finance. I know real estate, right? So I really started to come out of my shell instead of being that no new friends, which I'm talking about back in 2003, way before Drake, right? But I literally had that mentality going into college, but I came out a completely different person.
So I love that because we had another interview today with Irfan. Irfan he hit 100 doors at age 35. That was his goal. So he talked about what you talked about, but he said as an adult, you know, being bogged down on your work. But then he said, I was struggling until I networked and I joined this real estate group. And everyone was doing something different, but it was still real estate related. So I took a little bit from this person, a little bit from that person, and put my tool belt together. And he said within 5 years, I went from 30 doors to 100 doors. But he was putting myself in the room and be open to listen to all these different people, because he said 100 doors is just tapping on the door in that room. He said these cats been had 100 doors.
Oh, I know. So I'm always a big fan of hiring a coach to go to the next level, right? I personally don't try to finesse nobody out of the information. I don't try to, ask for, hey, can you do this for me for free? Because I know that that's temporary, right? You might answer a question, you might drop me a little knowledge, but that real uplifting, taking me to the next level consistently. I know that you got some kids.
Yeah, I got two.
It's all good, bro. It's all good, man. It's all about the legacy, man.
I ask mom.
Yeah, but really, my coach, he bought 4,400 doors in 1 year.
4,400?
Yes, 4,400 doors in 1 year.
Amazing.
Right? Now, when you think about that, like, how am I going to get this guy's attention? He don't want no coffee. He don't want to go to lunch. Right?
He don't need somebody to go help him pick up nothing. Somebody's good. He got people for that.
Nothing, right? So I paid him, but even the money that I gave him wasn't significant to him.
Right.
It required him to actually have a passion for it, him to see me putting in the effort, right? I literally moved from Houston to Detroit, got an apartment, furnished the apartment. I'm like, I'm here because I want to learn from you, right? So for me, just like the other gentleman you was talking to today, once you start networking and you get in those other rooms, you realize you can't do it all. You can't manage 4,400 doors. I can't manage 215 doors. And I always tell people like this, 215 doors, if it's a man, woman, and child in each of those, we talking about over 600 people every single day that depend on me.
Right.
There's no way I can communicate with all of those people.
Right.
And that's how we get to the DMs. Y'all be blowing my DMs up.
And I appreciate you for seeing mine's the response, so I appreciate it.
It's all good.
And that's another thing he said. So I'm loving the similarities in the growth. So he said, yo, I got 9 people on my staff. He's like, I got like 4 virtual assistants, and then I got another 5 people that work dedicated with me that are here, grassroots, boots on the ground. Mm-hmm. And he was like, again, like you said, like to manage the maintenance projects, where's what, who's supposed to do what, marketing and just following up with property management stuff. He was like, it's an all-day job, but my job is really to find the deals, secure the money, and then keep the money. He said, that's all I do. He said, after that, I spend time with my family. That's what we really do this for, this quality of life, to be with our family.
Absolutely. My whole motivation was to have financial, location, and time freedom. right? As an engineer, I had financial freedom. I was 100% debt free. I was making six figures. I didn't owe nobody nothing. I had a nice apartment in the middle of the city, best neighborhood. So I was financially free. But I still had to get up and go to this job every morning.
Right.
Right? I could not choose to just wake up and sit in my boxes and get some work done. No, you physically got to come to this office.
Right.
And so I realized that having any one or two of those items without all three didn't meet my definition of success.
Okay.
And so in defining success for myself, I realized I have to have all three. And when those rent checks started coming in from that first property, and I started to really understand equity and depreciation and appreciation and tax loopholes and all of this stuff, I was like, oh, we got something. We got something. Because I'm doing the stock market at the same time, but the stock market don't have all those benefits, right? I know that when I want to buy something, I got to sell my stock.
Right.
That stops all of the money, right? It's not growing anymore. But I know I can go do a cash out refi on this property, or I can pull out a HELOC and I can go keep getting busy.
Right.
And still own the asset. Wait a second. And so from then it was just, wash and repeat.
That's dope. So, well, I'm trying to go back to what you just said with the, no. All right, I got it. I'm sorry. I got it. So for you, going with the, not wanting to have the job and building all that out, when did you know, or is there a feeling, or how do you determine, like, hey, I'm ready to do this? Like, all right, I got 2 houses, like, it's cool, like, I could get 10. Is there something a person knows or that they see when they realize, like, oh, I could go from 1 to 10, or like, you 4,400? I mean, like, what kind of mindset, or what are you telling yourself to get those kind of results?
Yeah, so actually the biggest limitation in all of this thing is you, right? It's your mindset. It's your personal beliefs. Because what I found is that if you find a good deal, the money will find you, right? I have never had a problem with coming up with money to fund a deal.
Okay.
Right? And I don't have to go in my own pocket to fund the deals. The challenge is always the limitations that you put on yourself. Man, I don't know. I don't have time for that. I don't know. They got lucky on their deals. That ain't gonna work for me. That was, he started in 2008. It's a different economy now.
Right.
It's COVID. Man, do you know how many people finna lose their house due to COVID? Do you know how many deals with my coaching clients that I'm helping them negotiate right now before you lose your house? Let's go ahead and do something so you can walk out with some money and still have your credit intact. And all of that comes through exposure. So when we go back to that network, when you start getting around different people and you start hearing how they do deals, you start hearing the things that they're capable of doing, and you start, just me, I'm a size them up. Come on, what do you got that I don't have? How is he doing this? What am I missing?
Right. It's that positive competition.
Yep. Right? And it starts to help you say, you know what? If I ask the right questions, if I'm given the same opportunities and I'm prepared, I could do it.
So when we talk about being prepared, under your coaching tutelage, can we talk about that? Like, what does that preparedness look like? Like, how do you help your clients become prepared?
Well, for me, I cover everything from the very basics, like from beginning to end. I typically tell somebody that if you want me to invest my time and energy as a coach, you need to already bring something to the table, right? And those two things is, number one, let's have your credit together, right? I need you to have at least a 680 or higher credit score. If you don't have a 680 or higher, listen, you can still get into the real estate game, but it's working the heck out of me. I want to stay focused on helping the people that's ready to rock and roll now. I can send you to resources who can help you get your credit together. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, Because when your boy got started, I had bad credit, right? I had repo cards. I had bad credit cards that went unpaid. All of that,
Right.
right? But number one, you want to have at least a 680 or higher credit score. And number two, I say you want to have at least $8,000. And the reason I say that is because I want you to be able to take advantage of any opportunity that comes your way, right? A lot of times people want to get into real estate with no money down. You're going to miss out on a lot of deals if you have no money. I want you to be in a position to strike on anything, right? So I typically say if you have $8,000, that can cover your down payment and closing costs. If you got those two things and you have a can-do attitude, well, when I say, hey, this is the play, this is what we about to knock out, you're like, yeah, I can do that, right? You might need a little coach, you might need a little motivation, you might need to explain how,
right?
But if you like, man, that ain't gonna work, you're right, it won't, because you don't believe it will. But if you got those three things, that can-do attitude, your down payment and closing costs, and your credit ready, we ready to rock and roll.
So this 8K is in Houston's market?
That 8K is in any market, right? And I typically tell people between 8 and 12,000 because I don't know what market you're going to purchase in.
Okay.
So my whole thing is that I focus on teaching you how to build a team, how to build the system, and how to automate this, right? So if we're automating the process, you can literally do it anywhere.
Okay.
Right? So we're gonna work with what you got. If your budget doesn't, if you're in California and your budget doesn't allow for you to get busy in California, I got clients in New York. They don't buy their properties in New York. They go to Alabama. Some of them go to Chicago, right? So it's really about it's really about me teaching you how to automate so that somebody else can do it, and we're gonna work with whatever you got. And I say that from the perspective of like when people get in here. I got a client right now that I'm working with, and he started out. He had his $12,000, right? And he was like, man, I'm ready. I'm about to buy properties. First thing I did was I taught him how to line up business credit. So now you got the business actually has more capital to invest than he does.
Right. So
in the process, he finds out that one of the properties he owned before, they had not been reporting the taxes properly, and he had a big tax bill due. Okay. So the 10 grand that he was gonna use to get started is all a wash. It's gone now. I'm like, we're gonna keep rolling. That's the importance of the can-do attitude, because he was a little defeated. Like, man, my bread is gone now. I'm like, don't worry about it. That's why I showed you how to set up the business, how to line up the finance and all that. We finna rock. So it's really that can-do attitude is a real important aspect, because it's inevitable. You're gonna hit some bumps in the road, right? You know how it is. You're doing a deal. Things don't go the way you expected, right?
Right.
But it is. You got to keep that mindset of, I can do it. It's cool.
Right. Now I'm rumbling now with a deal. The lender. So, you know, sometimes these lenders, you think like, yo, I'm gonna give them this, give them that, and we cool. Mm-hmm. Now they asking me for 30 other things, and I'm like, where did this come from?
You mean like documentation wise?
Right.
Yeah. New lender, like a new person you working with.
Exactly. That's my dilemma. Yep.
Yeah. You got somebody else on backup?
I do, but I don't like their terms.
Okay.
But it's worst case scenario. So hopefully we can figure it out.
Yeah. So
you got somebody that'll work with me down here in Philly?
No, but the thing is, I'm coming to Philly next week on the 18th for a TED. I'm speaking at a TED Talk, right?
Where at?
William.
You were supposed to leave with that to let us know. We got it. You got your flyer?
They working on all that stuff tonight.
So when you get the flyer, send it to me so I can send it out.
For sure.
So congratulations. Congratulations. That's major. We just had some Philly folks. They got to do their TED Talk in Atlanta.
Okay.
So, yeah. You know, so that's dope.
let me see, what's the name of this place? It's a theater. Let me see if I can find it in my phone right quick.
Local doorstep. Send me a DM so we could set a time to talk.
I don't know. Y'all got a theater out there called like the Williams or Wilson, something like that?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not the best person to ask unless it's Chuck E. Cheese.
The Wilma Theater downtown. It's by the Ritz Carlton.
Yes. So I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do the TED Talk on the 18th. I'll be out in Philly, my first time in Philly. So y'all come out and show me some love, man.
Now, how long you staying down?
So I think I'm gonna come out there maybe like 2 days before the event, hang out. You know, I got a couple of contacts out there. You being one of them, a couple other people that's in real estate that I want to talk to.
Okay.
And just kind of see what the city has to offer. It might be my new playground.
Hey, well, come on down, man. We always appreciate people coming down. You know, get a grub, show you some love down here.
For sure, for sure.
Like you
Appreciate
said,
that.
major though. Definitely, congrats, man. So in the process of your coaching, how long do you do your coaching for?
So it really depends. I have 2 different programs. One of them is a self-guided where you get access to all of the information, all of my resources, all of my people, everything, right? You can come and ask me questions in the private Facebook group, all of that. You get lifetime access to that, right? And then the second program is actually sitting down with me in a small group setting. And you get that for 90 days, but you still get lifetime access to everything else
To the Facebook.
for 90 days.
That's dope. And so I tell people what we teach. So 90 days, or whether it's 90 days or 120 days, you should know enough in that time frame if you're dedicated to go ahead and execute.
Yeah.
If I give it to you in that time frame, it's not nothing more I could give you. The rest of it is on you to actually go and execute.
Yeah. So my goal with my coaching program is, our goal is for you to own your first property and have it on autopilot in 90 days or less, and make at least $10,000 of instant profits throughout that process, and $1,000 a month of passive income. Right? So we getting busy. Right? The point is, I want you to come ready to get it in, because we got some tangible results that we looking to accomplish.
My fault, Ed.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. This is organic, man.
Wrong windpipe, man.
What you chopping on over there, man?
Man, Hershey's, man. Hershey's. That's how you know I ain't supposed to be eating them this late.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, like I was saying, that whole putting things on autopilot is a real big thing. My goal is that after you work with me, you should have everything you need to get to 215 doors, right?
So to make that 10K, that's getting your investment back. Then you really will double it in the next 12 months with the cash flow of $1,000 or more.
Yes. So instantly, by the time you finish the program, if you show up for yourself, right? I'm not doing the work for you. I'm telling you, I'm calling the plays. Do this, do that, do that. If you're knocking them out, then by the time you get to the end of your 90 days, you should have a property. Let me back up. You should have a successful business that is funded, that also has, and you should also have a team,
right,
automate this whole process, and you should have a property, and that property should have at least $10,000 of instant equity and $1,000 a month of passive income. So it's like, by the time you get to the end of this thing, we're not even talking about money, because you've been made your money back, and you got money coming in every year, and it's on autopilot. So now you're just like, yeah, I'm looking for my next property.
Right. So tell me this, Ed. Are you a big fan of the Burr method?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think that the Burr method really allows people to, people who either have limited resources or who are like me that really just want to protect every bit of money that they already have, right? I'll put up money on my first deal. I also put up money on my second deal. I'm not trying to go back in my pocket again.
Right.
Now so go ahead.
Now you want to play with the house money.
Playing with house money, man. I'm playing with house money. And the house money is in the millions.
Right. I love it. So I don't want to say out of the 200, but is there ever a point where we should be cautious or nervous or looking at, not having all these mortgages? Or are you a fan of the mortgages don't matter as long as the buildings pay for the mortgages?
So it really just depends on where you are in your strategy, right? So if you're in the growth stage where you're trying to create that freedom, right, you should know, hey, I need 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 a month in order to live the lifestyle that I want and have financial location and time freedom, walk away from my job, whatever that goal is for you, right? So if you know, hey, I need to get to the 5,000 a month marker, I'm not worried about how many mortgages I have. I'm trying to get that freedom.
Right.
Once I have freedom, then I can choose, do I want to continue that same mentality, or do I want to start to scale back, pay off some things, do some deals that, pay off mortgages? Like, you can really start to figure out what your long-term strategy is.
I got you. So, and for a person that's even trying to think about how to come up with that number or what the long-term strategy is, like if I'm, like you said, if I'm a person that don't have that exposure, how do I start thinking about that or figuring that out? Because I know in the beginning I said, man, if I could make $3,000 a month, then I start making $3,000 a month and realized that wasn't nothing.
Yeah. So for me, I've always been about creating freedom. So my whole mindset was, all right, in order for me to walk away from my job, what are my bills, right? Not how much money do I want to go on vacations. What do I need to cover my rent, my lights, my water, my must-haves, my groceries, my internet, my cell phone, right? Add those numbers up. Once you know, hey, that number is $2,500 a month, that's my first goal. I'm out here doing deals, trying to figure out how to make $2,500 a month. And here's the thing. You can do deals where you earn $2,500 a month in rent for the rest of your life, or you can go out and do a deal where you make $30,000 in equity off the first deal, and now you can just say, hey, I'm gonna take that $30,000, I'm quitting my job, and I'm gonna just use $2,500 every month until I run out of 30. Now I know that 30 is gonna last me 2 years.
Right.
So now I got 2 years to do another deal.
I like that approach, and that takes a lot of the pressure off you. And meanwhile, while you're even doing that, you're still paying down the mortgage, so the equity's still building back up at the same time, and that's just
absolutely. So now imagine if you're one of these people who buys a quad or a triplex or even a duplex. You could be living in one, collecting rent. You can have the tenant paying off the mortgage. You could be getting all of the tax benefits. I always tell people, think like a real estate CEO, not a landlord, right? Landlords run around chasing down the rent, making repairs, cutting the yard on the weekend. A CEO, you kick back in the chair, man. I spend 90% of my time hanging out with my wife and my family. Personal development. I can care less what's happening at them properties. So if you stay focused on thinking like a real estate CEO, that type of strategy that I just gave you, where I'm like, hey, if I make 30 off of this first deal, that's 2 years of paying my expenses. I can quit my job. Once that 30 is in my account, I can quit my job. And now I got 2 years to figure out how to make another $2,500 a month. And that do one of those a year. You never have to work again.
When you say it like that, Ed, you really make it sound so simple. And I'm loving it because it's like, I don't know, you get on Instagram and you know how you hear everybody got different strategies and different stuff. And it's like, you just really made it uncomplicated with just this one deal. And then I'll break it down. Even if you don't strike the 30, what if you strike 15 and 15? You do 2 houses in 1 year.
15 just got you a year. I told you the goal is to get you 10,000 on the first deal with me, right?
Right.
So if your expenses is I'm gonna use 2,000 because 2,500 is kind of complicated to math. I want everybody to follow, right? But if you make 10,000 in 90 days and you have a process that's on autopilot, you can take that 10 divided by 2. You just bought yourself 5 months on your first deal.
Woo. 5 months.
5 months of freedom.
And so can you talk about the peace that you have having that freedom? Because one of the big components that we talk about with our good sister Tracy is our mental capacity of being in this business. But I think most of us get caught up in chasing. I won't say most. I'll say me. I used to get caught up in chasing that bag or being so gun-ho on my goals.
Yeah, absolutely. I get people asking me all the time, Ed, when you gonna get 216? What? How many deals you got in your pipeline? How many more you working on right now? Right? I'm content. It's okay if I never do another deal for the rest of my life. I'm all right. My goal was freedom. I own $19 million worth of real estate. I don't need to do this anymore. Right? What is my goal? What impact do I want to have on the world? What do I want to dedicate myself to every single day? Right? So
right.
When we talk about freedom, it's the little things, man. When you talk about peace of mind, you'll rarely see me get on the gram and stunt about a vacation that I'm taking or a car that I drive or a watch that I just bought. I have those things. But those are not the things that I value and appreciate.
Right.
I woke up at 10:30 this morning. When I woke up at 10:30, I went to the meditation room in my house. When I was a kid, I didn't have a meditation room. I have a whole room dedicated to just getting my mind right.
Right.
I went into the meditation room. I meditated. I wrote in my journal. I went and I greeted my wife, who also does not work.
Dope.
Right? We sat and we had a 3-hour conversation.
Look, by then it was like 2 o'clock. Like, all right, man, what we need to do today?
You know what I did at 2 o'clock? I went and checked the DMs and I was like, oh, I got this live coming up tonight. Right?
Right.
I went in my office, I organized some paperwork. My wife said, hey, I want to cook dinner for the whole family tonight. I said, all right, cool. So we went to Target. We grabbed, well, first off, we had groceries delivered to the house, but they didn't give her the right Alfredo sauce that she wanted.
I got you.
We go to Target, we get the Alfredo sauce, and after I get off this live tonight, she's in there cooking. We're gonna go to like probably about 6 or 7 of my family members' house, and we're just gonna drop off plates so that they don't have to worry about what they're gonna have for lunch tomorrow.
Nice.
Right? So the peace that you find within yourself begins to spread to everybody else that you love. So when we talk about peace, man, there's nothing more important than that. I mean, I really have an issue with like trying not to brag, but I hired a coach, and my coach is teaching me, and she's like, man, you know, there's a lot of times we don't see black and brown people who live this type of lifestyle. You got to talk about it.
Because that's exposure. You're not bragging. You're exposing us to what's possible.
Yeah. So like the things that I get excited about are not my cars and watches. I got a guy who comes out to the house and he plays these singing bowls. So these singing bowls come from Tibet, right? And he's a Grammy nominated or a Grammy award winning music producer. And he comes to the house and he plays the bowls while we meditate.
Okay.
Then the masseuse will come by. We'll get a massage.
Ooh.
Right?
Talk that talk.
we'll have I had a chef. I don't have a chef anymore. The chef quit because he said, man, this is a lot, right? I can't keep up with it. It's too
Right.
much. So the chef quit. I'm looking for a chef. I got a housekeeper. I've had a housekeeper for like 12, 13 years now. But
As E say, you handling that grown man business.
say that again.
As ET, Eric Thomas,
Yeah,
say you handling that grown man business.
yeah, right. And I've been able to. My wife wanted to take a job when she was working. She wanted to take a job in DC. And she said, "Hey, let me back up. She's an engineer as well, right?
Oh,
So we were both engineers here in Houston. Her old roommate from college, who lived in DC, took my wife's resume without my wife knowing and turned it in at her job,
okay.
right? Her boss was like, I want to hire this lady, right? And so the dude calls and offers my wife a job, and I'm like, how somebody offer you a job you ain't applied for? We ain't never met her. And so, I'm like, babe, before you accept this job, let's go out to DC. Let's meet these people. So we fly out to DC. I don't remember the exact time, but let's just say it's like Thursday. We out in DC throughout the weekend. We fly back home on a Monday. She's like, man, I want to do this. I book a fully furnished apartment.
Mm-hmm.
We pack all of our stuff in the 10 suitcases. We load those 10 suitcases on the airplane. We moved to DC. We lived in DC for 2.5 years. She got to explore and live out that dream.
Right. Okay.
Right? So this, when we're talking about the peace of mind, like it's unlimited. And then it carries over to the people that you love. So I would say that is the most important piece. Don't chase the bag. Chase peace, chase freedom.
That's dope, brother. That's definitely dope, man. Definitely some good wisdom there. Can you talk about how can we, or how can anyone, let's just say anybody, because I keep learning, like, yo, we all need help. It's not to speed the process up, but help fix the bumps, like, so we don't got to keep beating our head. But you even have a mentor. So, like, what are the things that you look for when you're picking the mentor, or how should one seek out mentorship?
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the piece of, like, I keep a mentor. I have multiple mentors depending on what area of my life I want to work on. Right? So for me, I have a spiritual mentor that comes by and they help me get grounded. They help me, think about the trauma from childhood. How are we going to get rid of that? Almost like a therapist, but more on a vibrational, spiritual level, right? I have a real estate coach. I have a coach to help me be a better coach for my students.
Okay.
So I spend a total of about $7,500 a month on myself, personal development. How can I be better? That is literally my largest personal expense, right? And so I'm big on growth and development. And so I would say, number one, you want a coach who's big on working on themselves, who actually realizes, I don't have it all figured out, I don't know it all. Because that person is someone who, when faced with a true challenge, they can go within first and say, you know what, do I have what I need? No, I might not have the answer to that. Okay, but I'm not afraid to go and get it. Right? And I've exercised the experience. I've done it enough to know that I can go out there and I can find it somewhere. And so for me, that's what I'm constantly doing. If I find something I don't like about myself, I'm gonna be honest. Ooh, boy, you gotta work on that. Right? And I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna get the help. So I would say, number one, you want a coach who's always working on themselves. Number two, you want somebody who has already accomplished what you are looking to accomplish, right? Because every coach should help you go bigger, better, faster. Right? So for me, when we go back to my real estate coach, I wasn't looking to buy. I bought an apartment complex, when I was 32.
Okay.
And that was a goal that I felt like I would hit in my 50s. And when I was talking to my coach, he was like, "Now you can do this today." I'm like, "Nah, bro, I can't do this today." He's like, "Yeah, I'm confident you can do it today." And that's when he took me to see the 4,400 doors. And he was like, "I seen your balance sheet. We've been talking. I understand, you know, the way your mind processes things. You're in the right mental space. You can do this. In fact, I'm so confident that you can do it. I'll sell you one of mine.
That's love.
I'll finance one of mine to you." Right? And
Right.
so that man took a goal. I'm 32. I'm like, "Oh, I'll do that when I'm 50." He took
Right.
a goal that I was going to accomplish 20 years from now and made it happen 4 years ago.
Woo.
Right? So a coach should be able to help you go bigger, better, faster, and have the heart of a teacher. Like truly care about teaching you something about that investment that you gave them is not why they're doing it.
I don't say that one more time because I don't know if they heard that part.
The investment that you make into a course, into a coach, is not why they are doing it. They are doing it because they truly want to have an impact. Right? Because here has been my experience. Like I told you, I spent over $7,000 a month. I've had some bad coaches. Right? What I've seen is that the coaches that is their livelihood, once they get the check,
They disappeared.
they focused on getting the next check.
Right.
They
Yep.
got yours. They don't need you no more.
They start
the
like
check.
they do a little bit of work and then go piecemeal the next job.
Absolutely. You know how that goes with contractors. They want to, okay, I'm going to get the deal. Can I get the deal? Okay, we got the contract. Can I get the deposit? And then they disappear for a week. Right? Now you done came in and you excited about getting your project rehab and you can't find the contract. Well, coaches do the same thing.
Look,
Right?
is on IG is a dangerous place. Like you said, if you don't do your homework and your due diligence on some of these people, you be like, "Dag, like these bulls, some of these bulls don't sleep," and I'll be like, "Oh, okay." You be like, "Yo, you did one house, but now you teaching all these courses on one house." Like,
make sure that the person that you select to coach you has more than the tangible aspect of what you want. Like the person that is coaching you, you should admire something about them that's not related to the real estate. Right? I admire your integrity. I admire your ability to articulate your point. I admire your ability to network. You know, I admire your thought process, your approach.
right,
Because anybody can buy a property. Right? Anybody can buy a property. They sell 1 million properties a day. Anybody can buy a property.
right,
You don't know if these people are buying profitable deals. They just bought a deal.
right.
Right? And what I've learned, because I've actually interacted with a lot of the social media real estate people, it's so much fluff in this game, man. It's so much fluff. It don't matter what you see. It don't matter if I post a property every day. That's not what should convince you that this is what I do. Right? Because I know people that post properties every day. Bro, I got time. I could pull up in front of a house. I got friends that are realtors. I can go to I can get somebody. Realtors are free. I can say, "Hey, I'm looking to get into a property, blah, 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 finesse that whole deal. I'm in the property taking pictures. Look what I just got."
Right. Even in houses, I could just start going to the open houses, and I'm getting busy.
I can pull up. I can pull up a contract off of Google, right? If somebody want to finesse, they can finesse. So I say that it's important that the person is what you have bought into, not the fact that, oh, they got this, and this. Don't fuck with me because I got 215 doors. Fuck with me because you looked at every video that I posted on my IG page, and you're like, you know what? This dude, he has to have experience because all of this stuff that he's saying, he go in for an hour at a time, 3-4 times a week. He ain't never slowed up on any question that anybody asked him. He got, even if he don't own no properties, shit, if I just pay attention to that, I'll be able to get me one.
I love it. I love it. Well, and we not gonna hold you. We know you got to get to the streets to help your family with the dinner and everything. So I only got a couple more questions for you real quick, right? So can you share for those that are looking to just, you know, as they're trying to find their mentor, podcasts or books to read or listen to while trying to build their exposure in their processes?
Absolutely.
And it can be real estate related or non-real estate related.
Absolutely. I hope y'all got your pens and pads out. I'm gonna start with the easy alley-oop, right?
No rich dad poor dad. I tell people you can't say rich dad poor dad.
Yeah, cool. Ain't tripping. All right. So while you're pulling together your notepad, I'm gonna do the shameless plug, right? So I got a ton of free game on my page. You should definitely go to my page, and I say, you know how they got the sections where you can see the reels, the videos, and the posts. Click on that video thing and watch the videos. It's so much game in there. You got over 2 years of me just posting, going out the whole hour talking about a topic. So that's number one. Number two, of course, you got Rich Dad Poor Dad, but an even more powerful book from Robert Kiyosaki is the Cash Flow Quadrants.
Like that one, yes.
Right? That one teaches you how the big boys move.
Okay.
Right? That's the back end. That's the stuff that people don't understand. That's the stuff that when you master that, you get into the bag. And you ain't worried about, you can take 3 or 4 properties and finesse them 3 or 4 properties into all of the freedom that you ever needed. So,
okay.
Cash Flow Quadrant.
Got you.
Of course, y'all know the Rich Dad Poor Dad. My favorite book of all time is The Richest Man in Babylon. Right? That's a book about personal finance, attracting the luck that you want to yourself. Of course, we have Think and Grow Rich. And then, you know, really just whoever you resonate with. Man, I always say if you're going to have a coach or you're going to have somebody lead you somewhere, make sure they speak the same language as you. Right? I curse on my page. I'm from the hood. You're going to get all the hood ratchet music. You're going to get a little bit of professionalism.
Right. You know how to blend it in.
It's going to be somebody that speaks your language, because that was my challenge. As I was coming up in this, it wasn't nobody that spoke my language.
Right.
I'm paying tens of thousands of dollars to sit and learn from coaches that don't look like me, that don't think like me, that don't dress like me, that really don't want nothing to do with me, but I pay them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so I say find somebody that, you know, speaks your language, that understands you, you know, that cares. And then just rock with them.
Okay, definitely appreciate that. So we got your TED Talks coming up next week.
TED Talk is on the 18th in Philly.
2 weeks. So the 18th. So you're gonna drop that. I'm gonna repost it and share it out to the folks.
See, now I gotta take notes. I had to send you the TED Talk. I'm with you.
When you can, send that TED Talk so we can share it out, man. Like I said, that's a major accomplishment. Definitely salute to you for getting that, as well as just salute to you for, you know, being able to hit these 200 plus doors, you know, and being a stand-up Black man, husband, father, you know, and all that good stuff that you are doing. I wanted to salute you for that as well, my man, you know, because like I said, like you said, the exposure and the things we see social media or on the news is like, yo, it's other people out here doing what you want to do. You not crazy. Yeah. You just got to tap into these folks, and eventually you'll find your tribe. And that's what we really been doing with this IG community. We've been finding our tribe. So, you know, so again, I appreciate your time. We appreciate what you're doing. You got any upcoming programs or courses that you're gonna be doing into this year or started next year that people need to be paying attention to?
Well, yeah, we definitely gonna be rolling out some stuff. One of the projects that's near and dear to my heart that I'm about to roll out. I used to do it and then I stopped because the demand was so high. But I got a program for the beginners, right? For the people that say, Ed, I want to get into real estate, but I don't have that 8K, right? My credit needs a little work. I need the basics, like you said. How do I even know how much money I need to replace, right? For the people that need the basics, I'm gonna roll that program back out in the next month or two. 100% of the people that have been in that program graduate to my real estate coaching, the next program. 100% of the people that started out in that have gotten a property within a year. So it's one of those things that I'm really excited that when I have the time, I stop and do it. It's at a real affordable price, and I'm gonna be rolling that back out. Of course, you know, everybody's setting their 2022 goals.
Right.
We have tons of stuff coming up. I would say the best way to really know what's going on and get some free stuff is to text me. So I can give you my cell phone number. If you text the word freedom to 713-597-6370.
Hold on, 713-597.
6370. And text the word freedom, and I'll send you my free real estate guide. It'll teach you how to line up the funding. It'll teach you, you know, how to overcome that mindset. It'll teach you how to, you know, how to do your first deal, all of those things. So tap into that free stuff, and then when the time is right, you know, then we can talk about some coaching or whatever. But you know, there's plenty of free out there right now.
That's what's up, man. Definitely appreciate that. And then don't forget, when you let me know you come into Philly, if we could do lunch or do some dinner or something, try to show you some stuff. You do properties that need rehab, or you like full rehab, a little bit of rehab?
You know, a little bit of everything. Of course, you know, I'm the autopilot guy. So the less work we have to do, the faster we can do it, the more deals we can do.
All right, so all right, then I have an idea for you. So let me know, like I said, and then I can start thinking of some stuff if you do want to explore that Philly market. So fortunately for us, so I'm the agent, I'm the investor. My partner Lorenzo, he's the property manager and the construction manager. So
Okay.
you know, if you want to put it on autopilot, we got the team for you as well, and we got the lender, so they give you the money to buy it, rehab it, and they give you the refinance money as well afterwards. No loan doc loans as well. So you know, you name it, we could put it together for you. We got the whole package.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. For the people that are listening, like, I don't know if y'all really understand what this man just said, right? So if I can take just 10 seconds to break that down, right?
Go ahead, take your time.
He said, I have a market that I can show you, right? Value of a great realtor, right? I got some stuff that I can show you, and I can get you connected with a lender that doesn't need lending docs. So that means all that stuff that you worried about not having, I don't got the right credit, I don't have the W-2, I don't have the XYZ. He just said, I have the plug to somebody who will make loans regardless of that, right? And then he said, I got somebody that can oversee the rehab of the property. So, like,
And sure you a tenant.
Property, and then manage it, right? And so that was one of the major things that was important, right? So when we go back to that little networking piece and we talk about, you know, getting in the room, I didn't understand none of that stuff when I first got started. What you just said went straight over my head. But you just gave out so much in that little 10 seconds,
right,
that unless you get in the room and you get around people, they talking a different languages over your head, and they gave you the whole formula and you didn't even know.
Right. Or Or people I get sometimes like, oh, why are you going to give me all of that? Like, what's the catch? Is no catch. I'm not going to lie to you. The more of these deals I sell to you, the more money I make. But now the easier I make it for you, the less questions you're going to ask me. Because I'm taking out the hard part, which was hard for me in the beginning.
Absolutely.
I didn't have the right lender. I didn't have the right contracting team. That's how I got burnt for 25 grand. You know, and I got a bad tenant that only paid me rent for the first 2 months. So, yo, I done already been there.
Absolutely.
Now, got a whole process. All you got to do, so I will say, it works best, like you said, Ed, if you have a 660 or 680 credit score or better. Ideally, you really could get what you want at a 700, because now we also got it to the point where when you talk about business credit, listen.
Game
And
so
like I said,
that has no impact on your personal credit.
But on top of that, to have that play in addition to our lender, when we say no loan docs, she's not asking for your W-2s. She's not asking for your pay stub. She's not asking for, only thing she cares about is really the bank statement for wherever the funds are closing. That's it.
Only the bank statement. So breaking that down for the people, right? She really just want to know where's the money to cover this down payment and closing. Just prove that you got that. Show me where it's at. Show me that you got it legit. And
right. Please don't go get the shoebox money and just dump it unless you did it like 6 months prior.
If you're gonna get the shoebox money, you gotta go ahead and let that thing mature. Let it sit there for a little while, and then boom.
Right. Go tomorrow, start putting that money in, and call me back in like February.
Absolutely. Right. But there's a will, there's a way, man. That's that can-do attitude I was talking about. And I think that, you know, that is one of the things, like you said, when you tell people I have all of this, their mindset goes, well, what's the catch? Right? Because that's how we were raised. That's how we were programmed. We were taught that you have to work hard for money. And if you're not working hard for it, it's a scam. It's a trick. But that can-do attitude is what makes you say, okay, how can it work? Explain it to me. Okay, now show me proven results for somebody else having done it that way. Okay, cool. And that's one of the biggest takeaways from Rich Dad, Poor Dad is that poor people say, I can't do it. And they turn their brain off. That ain't gonna work. It's a scam.
Right.
Rich people say, oh, how can we make that work? So it's all about that mindset and perspective, man.
Listen, good brother, I appreciate you. You gonna have me, I gotta pull my cash flow quadrant back out now. Cause like everybody always talk about the first Rich Dad, but you brought up cash flow quadrant. So I need to pull mine back out. I'll get to it. I could brush up on that before the new year is out. You know, but like I said, let's definitely connect. Salute to you. Tell the family I said thank you for letting us, you know, borrow you for this hour. We're gonna save this live, y'all. So if y'all want to go back and watch it, it'll be on the YouTube hopefully by Monday as well. Ed, don't forget to send that flyer. And as always, guys, we will see y'all next Thursday with another great interview. So again, I appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Ed, anything else you want to leave the people with?
Yeah, one final thing. If you want to get that free real estate guide, text FREEDOM to 713-597-6370. And when we touch down in Philly, the more the merrier. So if y'all could come out, I really would appreciate that. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks, brother.
My man, have a good one, Ed. Thank you again.
All right, you too, man. Thanks. Hey,
all right.
By the way, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate when we reach out to one another and we are humble enough to say, hey, something you did struck my interest, right? This ain't about no big homie, little homie, nothing like that. This is two men that have said something about you struck my interest. And that's why I started the conversation out with, I noticed something that I liked about you. That's what made me respond. So salute to you for having me here, and I appreciate that, man.
Nah, well, look, I appreciate the recognition, man. Like I said, it's a good thing. We building this exposure so people can see it. Houston, Detroit, Baltimore, Philly. Look, it's people out here living the life that they want to live. And look, You ain't got to sell drugs. You might not be good enough to be a ball player. You ain't got to do no tricks, no dirt to nobody. You just got to be diligent, one house at a time, and just keep building.
Absolutely, man. I'm 5'7" and I can't rap.
Man, well, definitely appreciate you, Ed. Like I said, definitely thank you, man. And we'll be talking, so definitely enjoy, good brother.
For sure, man. Thanks. You have a good night.
Thank you, my man.
All right.